Hello everyone, I am Putri Kusuma from class 8 English Education Department Universitas Hindu Negeri Igusti Bagus Sugriwa Denpasar. Today I would like to provide a story with the title The Bee and the Rose. But before that, please remember the word print in capital letter. Let's start the story. Once upon a time, there was a bumblebee who loved a flower. It was not so unusual, as a bee often falls in love with a flower in the garden. But what was unusual that the bee was fall in love with a rose. Rose, as you know, as the queen of the garden. But this rose was different from the other. She loved her bee just as much as he loved her. One day, the queen was walking through the garden, and she said to the gardener, "From now on, cut me a bouquet of roses every Sunday and put in my bedroom." The gardener promised he would do so. "A bouquet of roses every Sunday? What will I do? I don't want to be cut and put in a vase with other roses." "Don't worry, my love, I have a plan," said the bee. "So what would you do if you were a bee?" Alright, let's continue the story. And then the bee was thought of an idea to save the rose. Not long after, he found an idea. The bee found daisies and asked for help. Daisies helped the bee by donate some petals for the rose. Then the bee used honey to stick in some petals from daisies. So the rose can distinguish itself as a daisy and not cut by the gardener. The gardener was surprised and said, "Why daisies here?" Forget it. The queen wanted rose, not daisy." The trick that the bee used worked, and they were very happy. The bee and the rose passed the day as usual. Not long after, the daisy's petals began to fall. The rose and the bee was very sad and cried. Then the fairy godmother came and said, "Hi, Rose and Bee, I have seen your sufferings. Make one wish, I will grant it." "Oh, fairy godmother, please turn me into a daisy. I don't want to be cut by the gardener. I want to be here with the bee forever." "All right," said the fairy godmother. Instantly, the rose turned into a daisy. The bee and the rose thanked to the fairy godmother, and they lived happily ever after. The end. The moral value of this story is, the true love and friendship grow from loyalty, caring, and the effort to stay together. There are the capital words that provided in the story. First is garden, same with kebun. Second, queen, same with ratu. Third, gardener, same with tukang kebun. 4. Cut, same with potong. 5. Donate, same with menyumbangkan. 6. Petals, same with kelopak. Good students are students who complete the assignment. So, please answer the question below. Question number 1. Who are the two main characters in the story The Bee and the Rose? A. The Queen and the Gardener. B. The Bee and the Rose. C. The Bee and the Bird. D. The Rose and the Tree. Question number 2. Why did the rose feel sad in the story? A. She was going to be sold. B. She didn't like the garden. C. She was afraid to being picked by the queen and separate from the bee. D. She wanted to leave the garden. Question number 3. Who helped the bee and the rose stay together? A. The queen. B. Other bee. C. The fairy godmother. D. The prince. Let's continue the question number 4. Why did the bee and the rose want to stay together? Question number 5. What the bee did to protect the rose from the gardener who want to cut her? Alright, that's all of the question. Thank you and see you on the next video. Bye bye.